Well, hello. Round two. All right, so this cake that I'm going to make, I have a friend. He's not on Tikis, thank God, so he'll never see this. Neither is his wife. Anyway, he's got the big 6-0 coming up in February, so I offered to make the birthday cake for him. And one of his favorite cocktails is an old fashioned. And I said, well, what if I made a cake kind of like an old fashioned? Well, we're fixing to find out. So I have found a walnut cake. So we're going to take the ingredients, basically, or the items of what goes into an old fashioned, and we're going to try to implement them into this cake. So there's a walnut bitters that he really likes, so I'm going to use a walnut cake. And then generally there's orange. There's generally some type of cherry that it's served with. So I have found a cake called a royal walnut cake with Russian buttercream. Yeah, I've never done Russian buttercream before, so that's why we're going to test it out. Make sure that we don't have a flop and have no cake. So the plan is we're going to do the walnut cake. I am going to do a bourbon sugar soak, okay? And then we are going to do some candied oranges, like little orange peels for garnish, and bourbon soaked cherries. It kind of sounds like a thing. So, the bread's going to have to bake all the way because this is something once we start it, we got to go. But it is a little different. So this is going to start out with 2 cups of toasted walnuts. So we're going to go ahead and toast the walnuts now because they need to cool down. All right, so I've had my cast iron kind of going. I measured these out. I could have just used a full bag because it was 2 cups. It's just walnuts chopped pieces. You don't want to walk away from this. There is nothing in this pan. It is completely dry. And we basically just want to toast these around a little bit to kind of bring out the really nice natural flavors of it. And then we're going to let them cool down a bit, and we're going to put them in the food processor. We want these down very fine because 1/4 of a cup of this is actually going in the cake batter, and then the rest of it is pretty much for garnish. All right, so in this bowl, we have 6 room temperature eggs. We are going to whisk these until they become very frothy and fluffy. And then we're going to just slowly add in the sugar and continue to keep whipping that until it becomes almost ribbon-like. All right, so you can see the eggs are real foamy. So what we're going to do is we're just going to slowly drizzle in the sugar. I think this has got to go for 8 minutes, but I'll double check and make sure. And then we're going to turn it up high. Yes, this is going to go on high for 8 minutes. All right. We're at 8 minutes, so I'm going to kind of show you. You should be able to pick it up and make ribbons. See how that goes? All right, so we are going to add the cup of flour and the teaspoon of baking powder in thirds. So just gently mix it. Add in a third. Add in the next third. Now you need to be ready with everything else because once you get to this point, this batter will not sit. You've got to put it straight in the oven. So we're going to get that mixed in, and then by hand we're going to mix in 1/4 of a cup of the walnuts. Don't worry if there's stuff on the sides because we got to fold this in anyway. So there's the 1/4 of a cup and just a little because I can't. That's my business. Now I will tell you, they tell you not to grease the pans, just put a parchment circle on the bottom. I ain't mucking around. I have got my cake release in here, and you can do what you want. That's my business. I'm not messing around. So I'm going to fold this in, divide it between the two, And then we're going in a 350-degree oven. She says between 23 and 28, but 25 is her magic number. All right, there you go. This kind of sort of reminds me of a decoisse, except for there's a little bit of, there actually is some flour in here. And generally with a decoisse, it is only ground nuts. But this is going to be very springy and light. So when you fold this in, do it gently. You don't want to lose all the air that you just put in there. And I very lightly tapped just to try to get the bubbles broken. So off in the oven these go. All right, so 25 minutes was indeed the magic number. I'm going to take these out of the pan. They're still pretty warm. And go ahead and flip them over, and we're going to start to let them cool. And that right there, my friends, is why I follow my instincts. Cake release has never failed me. Look how beautiful that is. This is super light and fluffy. Like, this is almost angel food cake, I want to say. Like, there's literally no weight to this at all. So we're going to let these cool completely. And I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to go run into town because I want to try the whole thing. I do not have any bourbon in my house. I have everything but, right? And this recipe called for rum. But again, I am attempting to do this in the flavor of an old-fashioned. So technically, y'all can just follow the recipe and do what it says, right? This is me turning this cake into an old-fashioned. So while this is cooling and my babies have been fed, because they seep in right now. You want to see them? All right, hang on. Yeah, those are my little chunky monkeys right now. 3 of 9. You're welcome. Anyway, I want to go get the other side. I don't have any oranges either, and I do need to do some candy orange peels. So I'm going to go get some bourbon. I'm going to go get some cherries that are already soaked in something, which would be great. If not, I can do it myself. And some oranges and also some Grand Marnier, because I think I might throw a little bit of that in the sugar soak too. Why? Because I can, and that's my business. So y'all, maybe I'll take you with me. All right. And there might be a part D. Okay. All right. Love you. Bye. All right. I'm going to start that over again because that didn't work out well. We're going to do fast candied oranges. Okay. We need them like this. Not like this. So what you want to do is just use your peeler to peel them off like you normally do, and then put them pith side up, and just take your vegetable peeler and run it along, just like that, and it'll take all that pith off for you. Just go back and forth and go kind of slow, and then turn it around and get the other side. And there you go. Now you have orange peel that doesn't have any pith in it. And you don't have to get every single ounce of it, but you want to get most of it because these are going to be real quick. So we don't have time to cut off all that or cook off all the bitter. So we need to get as much of this as we possibly can. See, there you go. Just like that. And then we're going to candy these boogers. Y'all going to have to come back for definitely a part 2 because there's a lot of elements to this cake. But I will say the guys at Riverstone liquor store are real super interested in this cake now. Especially when I told them we were making an old-fashioned. So come on back for part D, and we'll cook off these oranges.